This keeps like
I don't know.
reappearing and disappearing. Like 5 minutes ago, it disappeared, and then now it reappeared, and nobody has been outside. The neighbors haven't been outside.
No.
Is it a coincidence that the same people funding lab-grown meat are the ones funding tick research? And now there's a tick called the Lone Star tick that's rapidly spreading across the US, and this tick causes a red meat allergy, so I'll let you decide.
Not a coincidence, trust. I want to believe. But it's so hard. I think that's the point of AI, right? Confuse you.
This family has a baby monitor in their nursery, just like most people do. And check this out. This cat thinks there's something paranormal going on in this room, staring at this baby doll.
Yeah, that definitely moved. The reason why I don't like dolls.
I'm gonna put this on YouTube.
You videoing right now? Oh god, don't video right now.
It's like it's spraying out of the top of his wings.
Don't do any evidence.
You want to know about data centers right now? Okay, hang on. This is the data centers according to the internet right now. Look at Texas, 413. California, 321. Looks like Virginia, 665. What on God's green earth do we need all of this massive information about? Can you tell me? Somebody real smart, please chime in and tell me.
To push AI on you and to take your job.
What if it's not just happening in the US? In China, several scientists have been dying in strange circumstances, sudden illnesses, car crashes, suicides, with their work connected to things like military AI, drones, and even Taiwan invasion scenarios. In one scientist obituary on a state-run website, it reportedly described his death as a sacrifice. China is typically tight-lipped about national security, government, and of course they control the media there. And so far, there is no proof linking these Chinese and U.S. cases. Back at home, the FBI and Congress are looking into a string of disappearances and deaths of scientists and government workers, many who had security clearances and access to defense, nuclear, and space secrets. Some lawmakers say that this is not just a red flag, but it's an alarm. So far, there is no proof that any of these cases are connected or a part of a larger plot.
Even if it's not connected, it's still extremely disturbing that many scientists are missing. Or I looked at some of them and some of the other ways that they claim these people disappeared was crazy. I forget the lady name, but one of them was she was on a hike and it said her companion was 30 feet in front of her, and then he turned around and she was just gone. No sound, no nothing. You would think if she fell or something, you would hear that. If she got attacked by an animal, you would hear that. How does a person just poof, vanish like that? That is scary. That's a big boy right there. You imagine seeing that? Are you working or something? That'd be scary as I don't know what. That's another day for people in Florida, if this was in Florida, right?
All right, y'all. So this has been going on. I have more videos that I took on my phone, but I had to get on Instagram and show y'all this. I am not crazy. So earlier I was going to the store, right? And I seen the clouds over in this direction. And I said, damn, I ain't never seen clouds like that. And I tried to take a video, but I couldn't because the light had turned. And so I'm like, bro, I've never seen clouds like this. It looked like some shit finna pop out. Now I'm sitting on my couch with the balcony door open, and bro, y'all, this is not lightning, dude. Okay, that little part looked like lightning, but the rest of this is not lightning, dude. Look at this. It's fighting in the sky. They cover it up with the clouds. It's like cloaked ships. I don't know how to explain this, but this is real life, y'all. This is literally live right now. Taylor Nicole, look at this. Wow. And it's only here. The rest of the sky is freaking clear.
The is going on with Dallas right now? Like, the lightning is not stopping, fam. Like, I'm actually concerned. Like, I have not seen this before. Like, why is it just constantly just going, bro? There's a glitch in the sky right now, bro. Lord protect us in Jesus' name. This is crazy. The like, it's been going on for like 2 minutes straight. This is actually crazy.
On one hand, we got people that's saying, "Hey, you know, they're fighting in the sky, you know, against the Galactic Federation or whatever, or aliens or whatever it could be." And you know, it would be pretty smart to put clouds to, you know, make it so regular people like me and you couldn't see it, or it's just lightning, which I've seen before with no sound. It's just lightning in the sky. It doesn't really strike the ground like that, and there's no thunder. If I'm not mistaken, thunder is the one that actually makes the sound, correct? Let me know in the comments what you think.
This case was also arrested here back on September 18th.
In 2008, a Fox News anchor's broadcast took a very strange turn. While Michael Brownlee was reporting from Palmdale, California, his skin started to change, slowly forming strange patterns. It seemed like strange scales had appeared mysteriously across his face. What made it even stranger was that he didn't seem to notice any of it, as if he was a reptilian humanoid and his real identity was slipping out right there on live TV.
Now keep in mind, this is the family story. They're young, but
During a live program in 2016, something truly strange happened. A presenter seemed to shapeshift right there in front of everyone. Her eyes seemed to change completely. Her irises turned a glowing yellow, and her pupils became narrow slits, just like a reptilian. It only lasted for a brief moment, but it was hard to miss. And did you see how she turned her face to the side right then? It was almost like she felt her mask slipping and tried to hide it. But even with that quick move, the camera still caught everything.
Look closely. He sprays something onto the girl's face and observes the effect. This guy is very experienced, and before long the girl collapses. The people behind him have already noticed and rush over to check what's going on, but this man has seen this before and knows exactly how to react. Look carefully at the people behind him. They realize something is wrong, so what they need to do is tell the man to step aside because they don't know where this man came from. After that, a woman arrives and tells them that she is the girl's friend, and they believe her as a result. The woman helps the girl to the side to rest, but you can tell she is not okay at all. Then she makes a phone call, and soon a car arrives. Look who gets out of the car, guys. You can recognize him by his hat. He is the same man from before. Now he shows up again, and you will soon understand that this girl is just his accomplice. Watch carefully until the end. These people are not ordinary. They clearly know what they are doing. Look closely. They are about to take her away, and no one can stop them. They put the girl into the car.
I don't know if that's like a skit just to make people aware that this actually happens, because it does. It's a shame that we live in a world where, like, you don't even want to talk to strangers because you're worried about stuff like that. You don't even want people getting close to you because they could just spray something on you, throw something on you, do anything to you, and then, you know, now you got to deal with something for the rest of your life. Either it be some type of kidnapping, them messing your face up, them hurting you, or anything like that. It's pretty sad because I really wish it was just easier to just go up and just talk to strangers, but you just really don't know the person's intention.
To her horror, she discovered something in the attic. A figure moving in ways no human could, crawling toward her on all fours. She screamed in terror at what she had just witnessed. The entity's movements were unnatural and terrifying, leaving no doubt that it was not human. But what do you think? Did the woman encounter a paranormal entity, or is this just a hoax? The choice is yours.
Guys, it's in front of this one now. It's in front. Oh my God. It moved. There's no way. All right, I'm going to measure the distance. Let's see this. I do have to say that I did receive a phone call this morning, and I was told that I need to stop filming this tree, which makes it even weirder. Anyway, let's measure this bitch. I got my giant ball of yarn and a measuring tape. Let's do it. All right, time to run this yarn all the way to my yard. All right, got the yarn pulled tight in the same exact spot as I measured from the first video. Let's see where it's at. Guys, 337 feet. It moved 2 feet. I knew it. You guys knew it. This is crazy. What is happening? And still no birds. No birds. I'm sure you guys can tell, but I am super passionate about this. Super passionate. That tree's fake. Be careful. It's fake.
I can't tell if that guy is like serious or he's just trolling. He is so passionate. But I've never, I don't mean to be laughing, but I've never heard of a tree moving closer to someone's house. Now, when I first made this channel, I did have some videos of trees moving, and there were some logical explanations for that because you couldn't really see what was going on in the woods. You just saw the tree moving. Maybe it was being transported. I don't know. Regardless, man, if what he's going through is real, I hope he figure it out because he's super passionate about it.
People who are infected with this bacteria have a 20% chance of dying within just 48 hours following infection.
New research from Stony Brook University shows evidence of flesh-eating bacteria in several bodies of water on Long Island, including Sagaponack Pond, Mecox Bay, and Georgica Pond on the South Fork. Professor Chris Gobler says the water in East Quogue is also contaminated with bacteria that is poisoning shellfish. He says there are dozens of bays and ponds on Long Island containing toxins from harmful algae blooms.
If someone's immunocompromised and/or elderly and they have open wounds, in summer at least, may want to stay out of the water.
Gobler says the biggest cause of this is years and years worth of nitrogen running into the water.
The major source of nitrogen coming from land and sea is what we call on-site septic systems. Suffolk County is largely unsewered.
So what is the solution for cleaning up the water? Well, researchers at Stony Brook say they're using more shellfish and seaweed to soak up the nitrogen, and county officials say they're working on upgrading septic systems throughout Suffolk.
Earlier footage from Peru showed a woman with unusual hands, but a similar case from Colombia drew even more attention for a different reason. This time, the woman's hands appeared normal. Instead, it was her facial structure that raised concern. During a televised segment, the news anchor lightly touched the woman's cheek. The skin visibly shifted and reshaped, almost like soft clay being pressed. The change happened instantly and returned just as quickly. This clip, two men were sitting together casually when one of them reached over and pulled the other man's nose. Instead of the skin stretching naturally, an entire outer layer lifted and peeled away. A CCTV clip from New York City showed two figures walking quickly down a quiet street late at night. Their movements appeared deliberate, as if they were trying to avoid attention. At first glance, they looked human, but viewers who zoomed into the footage noticed unusual details. Their eyes and ears appeared distorted, not matching normal human features. The proportions looked off, giving the impression that their forms were being imitated rather than natural.
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Like, you really don't know what's going on with people's intentions. Maybe some people think it's NPCs. Hey, maybe they exist. You got reptilians that's trying to blend in, that use masks. You got, or just people who just care about that privacy and want to wear masks because, you know, these flock clammers are literally everywhere recording you all the time. And you can sit up here and say, oh, You got nothing to hide. What you concerned for? See, that's the problem. You have the right to privacy, and it starts with that, and it just gets more and more and more and more and more control. So no, thank you.
New AI images are basically undetectable, and that's a huge deal because it's coming from OpenAI. There have been other great AI image generators, but none as powerful. And when Google released Nano Banana Pro in November, they released Synth ID along with it. So even if it generated a really good AI image, there was always a backup. There's no such system here. It is not perfect, but it is almost there in the best case scenario. I was able to generate this image of Obama, this image of Harris. I was not able to generate a certain New York financier. I might have just not used the right words. You can't use them by name for any of these, but you can just describe people and it will generate them. It is not perfect. There are probably mistakes still being made here, but it can do really accurate text generation. It is very customizable. And look, if you're excited about some cheap diagrams or funny photos or cheap advertisements, I understand, but that comes at the cost of no one being able to trust any new photo they see on the internet anymore. Software is not going to come to save us anytime soon. Our systems aren't ready for this. Photographic evidence isn't dead, but that does not scale. Chain of custody doesn't scale on social media. It's a very sad moment, and it's an incredibly cynical release from OpenAI.
It is a sad moment. It's just crazy. You can't even trust anything.
I got a question for y'all. Okay? I got a real quick question for y'all. Y'all see this face, right? Y'all see, my fault. Y'all see that face right there? What does that face look like? I'm about to show y'all what this face look like. Just pay attention to this. Does this not look like that woman from that Kanye West video? You know, that and her hands up and all that, right? Right? Now watch this, okay? Watch this. Do you know where this statue is located at? It's in Houston, Texas. Hold on. Is Travis Scott not from Houston, Texas? What, hold on. Oh, hold on. Cause you know, this is called like a goddess, a Lakshmi, I believe. Why is this Hindu goddess who has the same face in the Kanye West video, right? In Houston, where Travis Scott is born. I really want y'all to really ponder on this, bro. I really want y'all to pay attention to this. This is insane to me. I love y'all.
I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing the dots. That's not the goddess he just said, which is Lakshmi. I think that's her name. That's like the goddess of wealth and love. He looks nothing like that. That is inhuman. I think that's the name. It's a monkey face with a human body. Hinduism has a lot of different gods with animal faces for whatever reason. I know a decent amount of Hinduism because this always was interesting to me when I was younger, when I was really into Indian culture. I always wanted to go. I just eventually just lost interest in going into India the more I learned more about it. But what they got to do with Travis Scott? Maybe I'm just not seeing the dots here. Let me know in the comments, because maybe it's right in front of my face. I just don't see.
Japanese horror is known for being extremely and unsettlingly disturbing. During a recording of a couple on a seemingly romantic trip, something utterly terrifying was allegedly captured as they explored a shadowy, abandoned building located tucked away behind the inn where they were staying. As the recording continues, the couple begins to walk through the place and soon encounters something very strange in the middle of the hallway. With the rotting ceiling falling apart and the cracked walls peeling and moldy, the grim signs of decay and abandonment were clear, looking like a scene straight out of a horror movie. I confess I'd be absolutely terrified of what malevolent presence I might find there, especially in those eerie, darkest spots. Up until then, despite the creepy vibe, it didn't seem like anything more than just another abandoned building. However, everything would change drastically the moment the boy filming looked back at the unsettling empty back of that dark room and unexpectedly came across this. The young man panics upon seeing a pale face in the upper corner of the door. Without a second thought, he ends up abandoning his own girlfriend and runs down the stairs in desperation.
In Carol, Candace Owens, Nick so many more people? Why are all these creators or these people going MIA randomly and barely even telling people that, hey, we're canceling the show for the week? Even more so, why are some of them going to the same exact location? That 2 or more at least are going to Italy. This is really weird. It's really weird because this happens right after David Wilcock allegedly unalives himself, right? As well as a whole bunch of UFOologists and a whole bunch of nuclear scientists. And it keeps happening every single day. Yesterday we had 2 more pass away. So the question is, did they get the memo of something that maybe is about to happen? Now, this is a bit scary, but there is legislation in the United States where they can basically throw you in a prison without a trial. This was one of the things that came out of September 2001. Also reminds me of John Kirikou, who was this ex-CIA officer who was prisoned because he was... Never mind, let's just take a step back from that story. And we have Ian Carroll putting up things like, I would never do anything to myself. It seems like there's going to be a massive escalation on the ground in the United States dealing with a certain class of people, a certain occupation of people that look for certain things and hidden things. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I can swim, I would never do anything. Part 2 coming tonight.
Guys, I know that this is about to sound insane, but you need to follow with me. There is a real theory that aliens are actually just humans from the future, and the scientist that was working on this entire thing is now one of the 12 who have gone missing. One of them was Amy Eskridge, and her father was actually a NASA rocket engineer. They worked on all of this together. She said that aliens are not from another planet, they're actually just us from the future, and she said that they're called P-47s and P-52s. She said that a catastrophic event happens and forces humans underground for thousands of years. And after that long with no sunlight, your eyes would grow massive, your skin would lose all of its color, your body would shrink, and you would lose all of your hair. That is the science of what would happen to a human if you were underground for that long, and that is literally what people have been describing aliens to look like for decades. Hello? And if you're somebody that's ever seen the movie Interstellar, that is literally the ending. It was never aliens, it was us the entire time. And if this is true, that means that the catastrophic event that forces us underground hasn't happened yet, obviously, but a retired NASA engineer and a congressman have both publicly discussed this. And on Kalshi right now, millions of dollars are riding on whether the government is going to confirm that aliens exist before 2027. And obviously the scientist that was just researching all of this information is now gone. This is obviously just a theory, but this is what all of her research was based on, and now she's gone. And she's one of the 12.
Did she even predict how she was going to, can you believe I never watched Interstellar before? I know it was a great movie. I just never seen it. There's so many interesting theories when it comes to aliens. I've never heard of that one before. That's pretty interesting. They're coming back to, I guess, like prevent what happened to them. It kind of reminds me of the, if you play video games, there was a video game called Infamous on the PS3. It's a shame they stopped making them after, I think, like the 3rd one. But yeah, it was his future self stopping him from, preparing him for the future of something that was going to come, that was going to, destroy everything. So his future self was the villain of the first game. Maybe that's why sometimes you see UFOs, they go in water, they collect water. Maybe they're collecting water to go underground or something. I don't know. That's fascinating regardless. I really wish we just had a definite answer what's going on.
The world is a stage.
Hello,
Watch this.
Auntie, who is this? This is Jamie. Jamie, I'm standing right next to Jamie. Whoever this is, I don't have time for your games.
Tell you. Who's that?
Somebody acting like he was you.
Yeah. Who did he say sometimes? I tell you what. Why don't I get this one over? And when I get through, I'll make sure he don't call here no more.
Good.
Whoever it is.
Thank you.
All right?
All right, then I'll just go and...
All right, then. Yeah. Yo, who this? This is Jamie. Who's this? Jamie? No, this is the new Jamie, fool. And if you know what's good for you and your family, you'll stay away from here till I can plan my getaway. Y'all, it's always truth in plain sight. From an old episode of the Jamie Foxx Show, telling you exactly what is going on before it actually potentially happened. Because you have to admit that Jamie Foxx has looked different ever since that incident happened to him.
I mean, he has even joked about potentially being cloned. Again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm sure that Jamie is fine. I'm sure that there is nothing to see here, right? But let's not forget about the movie he was in. Again, remember when he got out of the hospital, how different he looked. I don't know what's going on, but you have to admit that that episode of the Jamie Foxx show and then all of this stuff happening recently to him, very bizarre. Wake up.
It's crazy because I used to watch that show all the time. I used to be a huge fan of him. And of all the people, when it comes to the clone theory, I could definitely see it being true, quote unquote, with him because he's such a talented person. He can pretty much do anything when it comes to entertainment. And imagine how valuable that would be to the managers and producers and the people that own the record labels, the TV companies and everything. He would be worth a lot. Now, you could say if he might be worth more if he was to disappear, but I don't think that's the case in his scenario. He's not like Michael Jackson type stardom, you know, or Prince. But regardless, Jamie Foxx is a very talented person. I could definitely see that being a possibility. Or maybe not. Maybe he got out of the hospital and he just looked a little skinnier and paler because he was inside the whole time. Who knows, right?
Okay, so I've been hearing noises again. And I don't know what the is going on. I'm gonna turn some lights on because people tell me I need to do that shit, so I'm going to. No, it's just. What the f?
Found this little basement. Weird. Oh my god!
Look at this. Oh my. That person, bro, or what? Huh?
Alright, let's see. Alright, we're in a cemetery. Please show yourself if you're.
Who's there?
Yo! I'm not playing! You saw another one? So was it? Oh my gosh! Yo! Yo! Oh my gosh.
That's Jins, right? Wow.
Let's talk about one of the most disturbing cases in Mexican TV history, the Mexican House of Horrors. 1947, in Zamora, Michoacan, activist Rosa Verduzco, aka Mama Rosa, would open a group home called La Gran Familia, aka The Great Family, housing hundreds of homeless kids and teenagers, providing them with food, shelter, and community in hopes of providing them a second chance. However, on July 17th, 2014, after several strange and disturbing reports coming from runaways of the home, the Mexican army would raid La Gran Familia and make some of the most shocking and vile discoveries in Mexican history, with TV Azteca getting exclusive access to enter and revealing not only 40 rat and maggot infested rooms that would house over 20 children each, but even worse, children and teens that were housed at the facility would allege that they were tortured and essayed, including them being made to go out into the streets to ask for money, being electrocuted in sensitive areas with wires from the walls, and being forced to eat worms. There was even a tiny cement room where kids would be sent called El Pinocho, where they'd be placed and shackled if they behaved badly.
Este cuarto era el cuarto de castigo, conocido para los niños como el Pinocho. Aquí, al momento del operativo, se rescataron 2 niños, los cuales tenían amarrados, encadenados y con cortadas.
There was basically over 500 kids living at La Gran Familia in worse than jail living conditions. And unfortunately, many kids went missing under the care of Mama Rosa, leading investigators to look in nearby fields for these missing children. Mama Rosa ended up being let go due to being too old and mentally unfit, and tried to explain to Univision that a lot of these kids were involved in bad things, and that those that are angry at her for feeding them expired food just have more money because she's eaten expired food for over 80 years. Now, Rosa Verduzco is roaming free in Mexico, with sources saying that she's thinking of reopening the home, and people protesting in her defense saying that the allegations are all false. Listen, judging by how the home was found and the conditions that a lot of these kids were found in, I really hope her reopening is not the case. If you're in Zamora, Michoacan, ten cuidado and please stay safe out there.
Yeah, I think I'm done for today. We're watching TikToks. That was very disturbing, and I hope that don't get the channel age restricted. But I'm gonna post it anyway. That's crazy. That even happened. I couldn't imagine how those kids and teenagers felt living in a situation like that. But you probably couldn't even run away, because you probably don't know no better, and you think that's normal. That's the crazy thing about childhood. You think things are normal until you get older and you realize they weren't. I just want to say thank you for the support. I randomly went live yesterday. Not really, I did a marathon of just older clips I thought would be interesting. I saw Slap Ham do it. I never really thought about doing it. I never thought about the live feature at all on YouTube. So I just tried it. I wasn't really expecting anyone to watch. To be honest, I was thinking maybe like 10 people will watch, but we reached a peak of almost 400, which is crazy. So some of the viewers, some of you guys are interested in that. I don't know if I would ever go live. I don't want to make a commitment like that because it's like, it makes me very uncomfortable to go live. I don't know. I never once thought about being a streamer, but maybe, maybe one day I would do a reaction like this live, maybe I'll go on TikTok and just scroll and then we just react and we just talk about it. That'd be pretty fun. Maybe one day. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe like a bi-weekly thing or maybe once a month. I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about it. I just want to say thanks for all the support yesterday at that live stream. I appreciate people defending me when some people were getting upset saying that I wasn't being honest, but if you read the description, it literally said that it wasn't live and it wasn't a live interaction. It was literally previously uploaded clips, but some people, maybe they just didn't see it. But regardless, I appreciate the support. I appreciate all the kind words from the previous video. I just want to say thank you. Peace.